Okay, welcome to episode 19 already. That's amazing. Today I am finishing up my crystal lift. So I already got to work on this. I have most of the pieces in place, except I don't have the tubes downstairs to finish it up. So let me stick a couple more rack rails in the cargo lift. This can finish running down to the cold caverns where I'm going to be loading on some crystal. Crystal comes up here. It's going to end up going through here, making me some crystal clocks, which I already have quite a few of. Good news. And the one thing I needed to make transport pipes, if I remember correctly, was I was going to need some hardened machine blocks. So, more automation. Yay. Hardened machine blocks. If I researched those that you know. Hardened machine block assembler, and kind of hand in hand with hardened comes alloyed. I wonder what precision alloyed is. That is new. I'm going to learn it now. We'll see. Hardened machine block maker calls for gold foil, titanium housing, and secondary upgrade modules. Got it. Make one of those for now. Same for each of these. Crafts alloyed blocks from tier 2 crafting materials versus gold plates hardens blocks into alloyed blocks. So if I remember correctly, the hardened block assembler used to use a whole bunch of nickel and a whole bunch of titanium, and then it would turn around and be an input for an alloyed block, which used a whole bunch of hardened blocks and a whole bunch of gold. So it looks like this, you would just put in 3 materials, probably the gold foil, titanium housing, and secondary upgrade module, and that would make your alloyed blocks. I'm not sure which I would prefer. Let me double check that we still have the same inputs for hardened blocks. Nickel and titanium to create hardened blocks. Okay. Well, let me get one line making these, and I'm going to have to decide what I want to do later. So, huge tip. You want a lot of alloyed blocks before you beat the game. Like, a lot. As soon as you start moving into Frozen Fortress, it's like, hey, I know that, you know, you've been using this super experienced material and you probably got like 10 on you. Now you need 4,000 of them. Like, it's some ridiculous number of alloyed machine blocks you instantly need in order to get everything moving forward working. So I definitely always have at least 2 alloyed machine block creators running at full capacity. So that is a lot of ours. And it's a solid setup on those. So I don't trifle around here. I'm not going to walk over and create a few by hand. That means that this is actually an important question about like how I want to make them. Usually I stick them in another room because there's a lot of steps there. For now, all I need is a hardened machine block maker. So let me put it here. It does call for power, so let's put down an energy grommet. And it needs, probably gonna need a directional storage hopper. Actually, I might want to just move that over one, because it's kind of hard to use a zip merge squashed up against the other. So if I'm doing that, remind me to go get that energy grommet in a minute. Stick it here. Hardened block assembler right here. It's looking for 1 nickel bar and 1 titanium bar, so that's easy enough. I'm gonna have to make a zipper merge. I need to just make sure I start carrying those right in my... No. Fail. Wrong, April. Okay, there we go. That's better lining up. I need to go make a bunch of zipper merges and just carry them around because I find myself needing them often enough. However, this is what my inventory looks like again. I went downstairs. I had an incident. while I was off camera. Apparently earlier when I was working on some of the stuff in the cold cavern, I, for whatever reason, turned off the power to my lift. So I went to use my lift a few minutes ago and it wouldn't move. That's what happens when it's a long distance lift and it stops getting power. It doesn't have the pressure to move and it just kind of moves very, very, very slowly. You're pretty much stuck. So I had to go down the long way, and as I was running past, it occurred to me, hey, I should take apart these old iron mines that I'm not using anymore. So I took apart a bunch of stuff down there, and now I got a few things that I can clear out, like these tier 1 guns. But mostly this is just either random junk or stuff I need to carry around, kinda, right now while I'm handcrafting. So what I'm saying is, we're definitely going to want 100 at a time of these. I'll do another directional storage hopper. Add only. Remove only. What am I doing? Too far. It's supposed to be leaving a spot for a zipper merge. The zipper merge goes right there. We don't want to feed right into the hopper. So I finally got all that sorted out. I had just taken down an energy transmitter that I needed, and that filled up my poor inventory. Okay, zipper merge, be right back. I can carry around 4 of them. And I should probably make this work a little harder. There we go. It's only got 33. I'm gonna turn that up a bit. There we go, zipper merge. So I needed titanium and nickel. So bars network, freight, titanium, B for bar. 100 at a time. I'm gonna do 5 carts for now, though I don't think I have enough carts for this. Let's just go check when I'm done. Nickel bars, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carts. Let's see how well that does for me. I also need to set up the power underneath before that's actually going to work. No, I only have 5 left and they haven't all come out, so I am about to regret having my inventory so full. I can make 5 mining carts at a time. This will be fun. So one thing you might be asking yourself is, why do I never use the scrap ore freighters? Scrap ore freighters hold ore, but they can hold 25 at a time. I think coal might count as an ore, so that would be a good thing. However, I am using the mod here, the Steveman's Freight Carts mod, and the last time I've tried to use ore and other things on the same network, I really had a lot of problems with it. The ore freighters would go over like they were going to pick up a component or a bar or something, and then they wouldn't be able to load with it. So they'd just be sitting there, unable to load the item, but taking up a slot. And whatever item they got assigned to would basically be blocked from now on. And then every time you restart the game, they'd get assigned some other random place. You can also set what is supposed to serve us here. So cart filter, I can toggle that to be the higher tier carts, or tier 4 only, or I can say ore freighters only, or tier 2 and tier 3 ore freighters, tier 4 ore freighters, no ore freighters, any. I don't think it used to have the no ore freighters option. That might be new, and so maybe I should try that out. But I would have to go around and set no ore freighters for everything. And you also can't set like tier 2, tier 3, no ore freighters. So you actually still have the problem. It doesn't really fix the problem. And the main problem I would run into is, for whatever reason, it would assign my ore freighters to something stupid that ore freighters couldn't carry. Okay, I'm going to do a few more of these. Always want to have plenty of carts in the system or everything goes downhill. 21 is plenty. And go set up power. That's the other thing I was doing. And hopefully that energy grommet is still down here and I didn't waste it. Nope, I didn't see it. I think I wasted it. Let's see, where? Right here. I should probably close out this room soon. But we'll see. That was a little weird. Okay, there we go. And I need... This doesn't use very much power, so I'm not too worried about putting them on the ceiling like I have for some of the other ones. I can just do shoot into the air. That's perfect. On the high power needs, those are the ones where I'm trying to put 2 different pyrothermic generators right against the battery. But when it's, 12 power per second or whatever, that's what these shoot. 10 power per second. Here, give it a lens. And now it shoots 12.5 power per second, which is about what I need. In theory, this should be happy to go. And I will speed it along with what I got. So titanium bar, I gave it 2 titanium bars. Nickel bars, I'll give it 26 nickel bars. And over here, we are making hardened machine blocks. I have an entire 2 of them. So hopefully some titanium will get over here soon. This might be the first thing. No, this over here uses titanium, and it managed to fill. Alright, our hardened machine blocks were all supposed to go towards transport pipes. I'm going to need a fair number of them. They're kind of expensive, right? What do we got? 3 hardened machine blocks per 1 transport pipe, plus 5 crystal clocks and 1 lightweight machine housing. That is really expensive. If I were still trying to do a conveyor method instead of doing cargo lifts, and I was doing transport pipes up and through the cold area, yeah, pain. You would really need 1 line per ore, and you would need like 80 or so transport pipes per line. That gets really expensive really fast. So I have a couple more minutes unless I speed this up. Let me go steal some titanium from the system. Also, I want to make some more crystal clocks since I'm carrying around all this crystal. Let's see, how is this doing? It's down to 200, but it needs to go further. I hope that's enough. And here's my titanium. Let's steal it. Okay. And we can go dump this there. And see how many hardened machine blocks. Ah, 20. Very nice. Probably should have grabbed direct rails while I was over there. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. Literally, sometimes when I'm playing this game, I will put a post-it on my monitor on the side and just keep writing on it what it was I was doing before I got distracted. It becomes necessary because, you know, every time you go to do something, you discover, oh, hey, I'm out of power. Oh, hey, I need some of these. Oh, hey, this broke. Story of life. let's speed it up further with some coal, because sitting around and waiting for this will be annoying. My plasma cutter heads are going kind of strong. I keep running out of coal, which is the limiting factor. I've got 5 carts running. I'll make that 6. No problem on the steel cutter heads keeping up. It's the power to run the plasma head charger. It's actually the coal it keeps running out. Anyway, there's probably like 30 plus plasma cutter heads down there, but even though I was using the logistics storage hoppers to try to limit how much how many plasma cutter heads are just sitting down there, it still ends up being like 6 per head iron area. 6 per there, and then 6 here, 6 there. It really adds up. Alright, now this should go a little nuts, and we'll have some decent transport pipes. Also rack rails. I didn't forget this time. I almost forgot, but I did not forget. And then well, those just lagged out and then lagged into being. That is probably also some of my speed issues. The freight carts run, they run while I'm doing videos okay. They run a little better when I don't have the capture software I use on. So sometimes when I finish up videos, or actually when I open it up the next time, I'll just sit there and watch stuff run for a couple minutes just to make sure my system is still moving. I'm really curious to see what freight carts will be like in the expansion and how much is different. Like the freight carts as they are in the mod, they work well. I love them. I love the idea. There's a couple little bugs, you know. Couple little things. Some of it's bugs and some of it's just like resources, and it is what it is, I think. I'm not sure I'd call it bugs. But then they said that there were only a couple of bug fixes necessary or changes when it went into main. So I'm really curious what that's going to look like, and if any of the fixes were things that I'm going to really appreciate. Okay, now I'm out of crystal clocks again, and that's unfortunate because I've put like 400 or 500 crystal in. So that's 5 crystal clocks, but it takes multiple or 5 crystal deposits per 1 crystal clock. So I just made 2 crystal clocks, something like that. Or 2 transport pipes worth of crystal clocks. I'm gonna head down, grab more crystal. What else am I doing? I think I'm just grabbing more crystal. I'm also going to figure out what is the closest spot for crystal to my cargo lift, and about how many transport pipes I'm even going to need. And I also should put down a transport pipe right here. Maybe I should show you what happens. No, that was right. Okay, I want to go from there to there. Right. It seems to have disappeared. Somebody somewhere has that plasma head, cutter head. If I put down a conveyor belt here, you see it's kind of iced over. It'll go for a couple seconds, and then it just stops. Everything stops. It doesn't work down here. No love. Probably. Oh, that's funny. It's like 1 short, isn't it? No, it's here. Is that the one? I'm sure that's the one. This is where I need to come to. Let's add a couple of storage hoppers. There. Or over there. That's got a lot of hills to deal with. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Huh, I found an unknown block somewhere. I'm sure it's one of those plants. There it is. Okay, let's start. I don't want to take this one apart yet because that is, I'm going to need more of those crystals for finishing up the transport tubes or pipes or whatever they are that I'm going to need. I've got a lot going on here, but maybe I can go... Matter of fact, I can just shoot off this way and then have another one shooting this way. Here we go. So I'm gonna assume or extractor here. I don't really need the enhanced drill motor, but having nothing will be a little slow. So we're going with it. That right there. And one of my 8 transport pipes coming out of there and heading right over here. Okay. I'm going to need a lot more transport pipes. This might be one of those things I finish up off screen in between episodes. Okay. Let me go grab a little more crystal and head up to the top. Leave my power alone, dude. So, this is an amusing thing. You see these silly slimes. Up top in my slime attractor, I added some parts. So my slime attractor is running right now. I was going to get a few more things out of it. Or at least it was running. No, I think it is running. And these guys are still attracted to it. Even though the slime attractor is way up top, they still head to that same but down here on this axis. So there's going to be a spot where your slimes gather in the cold cavern, and that amuses me. I suppose I should add a second pit right there. Oh. I forgot what I was doing, which was grabbing more crystal. Now I'll go upstairs. So my only plans for this one were the hardened machine blocks and the dropping the crystal lift, which is done very nicely. I think it's probably time to wrap up this episode. I do definitely want to figure out the conundrum of how I'm going to approach alloyed machine blocks, but I think first I'm gonna come back and set up my much talked about automated manufacturing. So I use the mass storage manufacturing thingy. It's a mod also from Steveman, and it's quite fun. And I will show you how I set that up. It's a whole thing. I'm gonna have to have a lot of these components coming in off the freight cart system, going into a mass storage, so I can run over, set my stuff to manufacture, and run off, and it'll be done later when I come back. You'll have to decide if the loss in efficiency is worth it. At a certain point, you kind of just have to do that. There are too many moving parts. You have to choose whether you're going to constantly be running around picking up and dropping off your components, or you're going to be fully automating everything and getting all of the components out of your inventory. I like to go the fully or at least partially automating of using a mass storage system. I will talk to you next time, which during episode 20.